Morning, everybody. Time is 6 a.m. Thank you for joining us. I'm Caitlin Heck here with meteorologist Alex Forbes. We have Frederick Price out in Baldwin County this morning. I don't know if he can hear us at all. There he is. How's it feeling down there, Frederick?
It's feeling good out here. You know, I was talking to the band. I've been talking to the cheerleaders and the color guard today, and they are ready to get this thing going. Everybody is excited to be here. Now, they started school yesterday, but they're still waking up and trying to get everybody else that has to go to school today up and going. So we're going to have more coming up later on in the show. But it's going to be a hot one out there, Alex, right?
Yeah, certainly. We're looking at 90s still today across central Georgia as several districts head back. We're looking live in Houston County, where they went back yesterday at the Georgia National Fairgrounds. We got 70s this morning. 73 is the current number in Dublin, 73 in Warner Robins, 74 in Macon, 74 in Monticello, 75 in Sparta. They were the ones to kick us off. Hancock County back to school on Monday, now their fourth day of school, and 73 in McRae. It does feel like the 70s this morning. The dew points there up there, so it does feel a little sticky outside as well. Did see a small shower in northern Jasper County earlier, some more rain up near the Athens area this morning. In fact, a heavier shower or two possible, but storms up to the north that are trying to slide down to the south, and between now and tomorrow night, I think we've got a chance of seeing storms. But 5:02 in the morning, and it's 88 in Dallas, so it could be worse. 74 here in Macon, I'll take it. 93 is what we're going to do today. Back to school today in Dublin City Schools, Crawford County, Wilcox, and Montgomery counties. Sunny and humid this afternoon with the potential for storms later on tonight. In fact, we've got a level 1 storm threat I'll show you, and highs still in the 90s through the weekends. We'll go through your 7-day forecast and future view in just a moment.
Thank you, Alex. Later today, former President Donald Trump set to appear in court for a third time this year, this time in Washington, D.C. The development follows his latest indictment on 4 felony charges stemming from the special counsel's January 6th investigation. He is expected to enter a not guilty plea to 4 felony counts related to his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Sources say Trump's legal team is preparing to argue that the former president's false claims about the 2020 election were not criminal and that he was following the advice of outside attorneys at the time, some of whom are believed to be among the 6 unnamed co-conspirators mentioned in the 45-page indictment.
Sadly, the president was surrounded by a group of crackpot lawyers that kept telling him what his itching ears wanted to hear.
We are still waiting to hear any updates in the Fulton County investigation into the former president. Well, 2 Putnam County families are mourning after a head-on crash that killed 3 adults and 2 children. Richard Dostie lost his wife Mayla in the Tuesday morning crash. Mayla Dostie was coming home from work when investigators say 22-year-old Haley Hayes hit her head-on on Highway 441. Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sills says Hayes was driving on the wrong side of the road. No one survived the crash. Dostie says he knew something was wrong when his wife was 2 hours late coming home from work.
And I went out on the porch, and it was an officer. He was very good about what he was doing. He explained everything to me. And it just about killed me.
Sheriff Sills says they don't know why Hayes drove on the wrong side of the road for more than a mile and probably never will. Well, Baldwin County's emergency management director saying they did not qualify for federal assistance for the tornado that ripped through the town back in March. They say several commercial buildings, businesses, and 70 homes were all damaged. Director Dwayne Johnson says they applied for help in April with the help of GEMA. The state presented the damages with Baldwin County and Troup County, who was also hit by that same tornado, to the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Johnson says they were denied because they did not meet the minimum threshold of $19 million in total damages. But he says they're still trying to help the community by applying for help through the Small Business Administration. Macon Mayor Lester Miller says he thinks some businesses are trying to get around getting alcohol licenses. So he's asked commissioners to change special event permitting requirements. Commissioners debated for more than an hour before approving it. One of the biggest changes, increasing the application fee from $50 to $250. They must also file applications 30 days before an event. Some argue the measure happened too quickly, like Vibe's general manager Marshall Talley. He says the changes are not the problem, but he feels the process was. Talley fears event promoters may run into more roadblocks now as they try to make plans. Mayor Miller says these changes will not affect pending event applications. Well, soon people living in Bibb County will have a new spot to get rid of trash and other unwanted items. Today, leaders will have a ribbon cutting at a new convenience center. It's on Ninadell Drive off Montpelier Avenue. It's the 3rd of 5 convenience centers being built around the county. The first opened in March of 2022 on 11th Street near the old landfill. People can bring yard debris, bagged household garbage, building material, scrap metal, tires, and recyclables all for free. The center officially opens on Saturday. It will operate Saturdays and Sundays from 8:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. All right, time is 6:05. We are still celebrating back to school with many of our counties, so let's head on over to Frederick in Baldwin County. Good morning, Frederick.
Hey, good morning, Caitlin. Yeah, we're live at Baldwin High School. We got the cheerleaders behind me. It's a great day to be the Braves. We got the band over there. Everybody is just so excited to be here and get the day started. Like I mentioned earlier, they started school yesterday, but we do have a list of Central Georgia students that are starting back today, and they want to make sure that they are up and ready to go as they go back to the classroom. So let's go ahead and pop up that list. We got Dublin City Schools. They're going to be heading back today, along with Crawford and Wilcox County. And then the last few schools that are going to be heading back this week are Bleckley County and Wheeler County. So we really do hope that everybody has had a great first day, and that people that are going back, that they do have a good first day and that it's safe and enjoyable. Now, of course, with a new school year, there are some new changes. And for one Houston County school, they got a new building and a new principal. Shirley Hills Elementary School in Warner Robins welcomes students to their newly renovated school. This is also the first year for Principal Kristen Brooks. Now, she was the assistant principal for discipline in Houston County for 4 years before becoming a full-time principal. So now she says she's ready to just be an example for all the students and faculty and staff at Shirley Hills Elementary.
I am so excited that the first day is finally here. All summer we've been anxiously waiting for the building to be done so that as soon as our students come in, they can walk in and say, oh my goodness, look at all the changes that have made. And we saw just that this morning. Kids' eyes were so bright and shiny.
Yeah, a lot going on there, and it's so good to hear. Now, Brooks received her Bachelor of Science in Early Childhood Education from Fort Valley State University and her Master's of Education in Instructional Technology from Georgia State College. So, yeah, a big warm welcome to her in that newly renovated building that I know students are so excited to be about. So, cheerleaders, how we doing this morning? Good. They're doing good. What about band? How we doing? Everybody here, they're ready to go. They're up and ready bright and early at 6 o'clock in the morning. We got so much more coming up on this special back-to-school edition of 13 WMAZ Morning. I'll send it back to you, Caitlin.
All right, thank you, Frederick. A lot more fun ahead, of course. Time is now 6 to 7. Thankfully, Frederick is inside, so they are getting a break from that heat and humidity out there this morning.
We are, and I think everybody's going to catch a break at least some point between now and the next 36 hours or so, but the trade-off is some storms across central Georgia. So we are in a level 1 storm threat. That's going to begin tonight and last through the next couple of hours and through the overnight hours, it does look like. This morning, we are looking at 70s across central Georgia. We've got, at this hour, let's see, 74 in Macon, 73 in Warner Robins, 72 in Cochran, 70 in Eastman, but the dew points, you are going to notice them this morning, 72 in Macon, 73 in Warner Robins. Yeah, a humid morning across central Georgia. But the radar is quiet, so we've got that going for us, at least as of now. But man, the heat out to the west, yeah, it's bad enough that I feel like we need to talk about it here in central Georgia. It feels like 110 to 120 across a wide swath of the central United States. That's going to be from Kansas down through Oklahoma, Texas, northern Louisiana, Mississippi. Excessive heat warning in effect because of that. Heat advisories come as close as Interstate 65 there in Alabama. So it's not too far away, and luckily we are not that hot. But again, the trade-off is some storms. So level 1 threat, this is going to be primarily tonight. I'm thinking after about 5, 6 o'clock, then last through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. Thomaston, Butler, Montezuma, Unadilla, Warner Robins, Macon, Milledgeville, all included within that. Damaging wind gusts, large hail will be possible. Now, when they issue these outlooks, the way they do it is 5 a.m. is the cutoff point between days. So the fact that the line is right here is where I expect the storm threat to be early tomorrow morning. But as I've been talking about all morning, it's the type of system we've got rolling into central Georgia that the models are notoriously just horrendous at forecasting. So take what you see here with a grain of salt. It keeps the storms coming in about 10, 11 o'clock tonight. This last run, earlier runs have brought a big line of storms through later this afternoon. That is a possibility. And then maybe a line of storms tomorrow morning. And, you know, this run showing it now out near the Alabama state line. So literally we're just throwing papers up in the air in the weather center. And we're going to say, all right, between now and tomorrow night, we're going to be watching for storms. And really what we're going to be doing is looking up towards metro Atlanta and saying, all right, what's going on up there? And then now casting as to what's going on down here. Back to the usual summertime stuff for the weekend. That's going to go for Sunday as well, just isolated stuff. As for today, though, back to school, Dublin City Schools, Crawford County, Wilcox, and Montgomery counties. I'm going with sunny and humid this afternoon with storms later on tonight, subject to change. Macon Bacon also back at Luther Williams Field for the second to last home game First pitch is at 7 p.m. A humid evening with keeping an eye to the sky as we are watching for the potential of storms. That's going to go into the 10 o'clock hour as well. Going with 95 for Saturday, 96 on Sunday. The better rain chance on Sunday, but at 40% there. And into next week, talking about highs still in the mid 90s. But as Caitlin was pointing out earlier, at least we're not talking about actual high temperatures in the triple digits, although it will begin to feel like the triple digits once again through the weekend on into next week. But also notice on the top right part of your screen, our average high is now 93 as opposed to 94, which means we are going to begin the cooling trend into fall.